today's video, I'm going to be showing you a 40 peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it's got some really nice, drippy looking peanut butter and jelly coming down from the cuticle. And then there is the sandwich, which when it's closed, you cannot tell that it's anything, you know, extra or funny, but then you can open it up and then there's a peanut butter side and a jelly side and they have the cutest little kawaii faces on them. I think this design is just so cute. I love the whole thing. It's just adorable. So I hope you love it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well. I'm going to begin with an overlay of Cover Pink. Really, this is just to make the background disappear. Clear would also work, but a nice Cover Pink is always a great option to go when there's a lot of art on top, because it really does just kind of disappear and fade into the background and become not intrusive to the design. And for this, I don't usually clear encapsulate my Cover Pink, so I want that nice kind of build it up to an opaque color, because if you do it really thin, it's really sheer. So you have to kind of add layers to this one. So there's no clear encapsulation, so I'm going to go straight into my filing with my e-file, make sure it's nice and smooth and easy to work on top of. And after that's done, we can begin sculpting our sandwich, or our bread, I suppose, on a nail form backing. So I'm using off-white for this. If you look at bread, it's not usually that really bright white color, especially if you use like a whole wheat or something. And so an off-white gives you a little bit more of a realistic color for the bread. And I've got these two large beads of acrylic down on my nail form backing for the two slices of bread, and I'm going to place a magnet into each one. And I always get this question whenever I post a design with magnets as to what size, where I get them, and all of those magnet details. I do actually have these listed in my online store, so if you are looking for magnets, you can definitely head over there, and I do have all the sizing info listed in that ad, and it's just an incredible decimal point for all of the different sizing. So it's too much for me to just type out for everybody. So just go there to get all the details and possibly pick some up if you're in the market. But then I'm going to finish up my bread slices. I'm going to add a little bit more acrylic to the top of that one because it seemed just a little bit thin and it didn't have, you know, quite enough thickness to actually look like a slice of bread. And then I'm going to use a floss pick and I'm going to poke it repeatedly to give it some bread texture. And I'm only doing this to one side of one piece of bread because the other sides get painted, and then the other one, the back side that I would have textured, is glued to the nail, so you don't see it anyway. So the rest of them don't really matter. So I'm going to glue my untextured piece to the nail and hold that in place until the glue really grabs. As you can see, I'm sometimes impatient and I have things that I partially glue and then they fall off. Happens more times than you can imagine. I usually cut those out though. Not every once in a while. I keep my bloopers in. Actually, I usually do keep my bloopers in. I know that sometimes it's good to see how somebody remedies a blooper. That one obviously just hold it a bit longer, but when I do a fix-it, I usually include them just because it's a teachable moment for sure. I'm going to add a little bit more acrylic to this one because same thing, it just looked a little too skinny to really have a bread thickness texture. And then, so that's with the same kind of off-white color, but then with a warmer brown color. And you can really, there's a lot of different browns that you can use for this, just as long as it is darker than the bread, basically. Then I'm going to take and do the crust around the edges. And do this to your other slice that currently is not attached to the nail. Add the crust to that as well. So you just take little beads at a time and just sort of brush it along the edge of the bread. And now this is going to be my peanut butter slice. So I'm going to take a peanut butter colored paint and I'm going to apply that not all the way to the edges because I want some of that bread color to show, but kind of in the middle of that piece of bread. And then I'm going to dip my brush into both the peanut butter color that I just used and kind of a warmer berry pink. And so I'm going to use those two, swirling them together. And I'm using paint, you guys, and not gel polish. However, gel polish would also work lovely for this. So if you have the gel polish colors, easy access, you can do this. While I did this nail, my house was being renovated and my options for products was really limited, and so I was like, okay, normally I'd use gel polish for something marbled like this, but acrylic paint it is, and you can really use either one, so just keep that in mind. And now with black paint, I'm going to be adding the little face to my peanut butter slice. I always love it when, you know, classic, just inanimate objects have a face, especially if it's a little kawaii face. It's so cute. So we've got black eyes, a little mouth, and then two pink cheeks and little white highlights in the eyes. And then I'm going to take some glossy gel sealer and I'm going to apply that over the drips only. So the actual nail is going to have no top coat. It doesn't really need any top coat because it's just acrylic, so it's not going to like wear or anything. But those drips, I want those to be super, super shiny and look really wet. And that also is going to protect those and seal them in, because the acrylic paint, if you don't seal it in any way, it'll progressively wash off. It'll get like this chipped look to it, which is really fairly horrible. And so you really need to seal that somehow. and also apply some matte top coat over the face on your piece of bread, or over, I guess, the whole peanut butter patch. Now on the other slice of bread, we're going to be painting the jelly. So use your jelly color from the other part of the nail and paint that same little kind of odd area in the middle, and then add a little face. I made my face on this one a little bit different kind of a mouth. Same little cheekies though, and a little bit of a eye highlight, then some matte top coat, and then this design is done. It's actually super quick and super easy, but it's just so ridiculously cute. And it's one of those designs that you could pair it with like a whole bunch of different food nails or something and just have a ton of fun with it. And as you can see, those magnets actually grip pretty good. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do. Like I said, I do have the magnets listed in my online store, and there'll be a link to that in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!